Hi, I'm Sarah Casada from A Life with Subtitles, and I'm excited to welcome you to my very first video blogging experience. If you have been reading my blog for any period of time, you know that most of my stories and things that I tell about multicultural life come from my marriage to my husband, Billy Casada, who's joining me today.
Hello.
So I've been telling this really long story about how Billy and I met and got married. In actuality, it's probably taking as long for you to read it over these weeks as it happened in real time. And so I'm excited to kind of pick up that in this video experience today. And when we left off, Billy and I had both discerned inwardly that we had fallen in love with each other, but we had yet to say anything to one another. That would actually happen on May 18th, which there were several things going on for me that day. First of all, it was my last day of work before the summer, so I was trying to wrap everything up. Secondly, I was moving apartments that day. Thirdly, it was Billy's birthday, and I was trying to plan something special. And fourthly, I was leaving that night for an overnight flight to Guatemala to learn Spanish for a month. I was going to be gone. So I was kind of at a high stress level, you might say. And I had an appointment of some kind in an unfamiliar place, and when I left that appointment I took a wrong turn, which in Los Angeles means you will be stuck in traffic for 2 hours trying to correct that fatal mistake. So I was stuck in traffic, I believe I was crying, and I was trying to get back to meet Billy at my apartment, and I believe you were already there waiting for me.
At the apartment?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
To celebrate your birthday.
Yeah.
So I arrive, and I think, did you bring me flowers for your birthday?
I don't know. Did I?
I think you brought me flowers because I think that's what started the incident. Because
it makes sense that I would do something like that, actually.
It's very sweet, right? But I was very stressed, so I think my response was kind of like, thank you for these flowers. Moving on to the next task on my to-do list. And that hurt your feelings.
Well, let me think. Well, yeah, I mean, but you know, you kind of like ignore those type of things sometimes.
So you gave me flowers, we went to have dinner at a restaurant in Long Beach?
Manhattan Beach.
Manhattan Beach. So Billy's favorite food is seafood, so I thought I'm going to take him to a seafood restaurant for his birthday. It was really nice. We went to this restaurant and we walked around on the beach first, I think, and some different things, hanging out. And then as we're waiting to order our food, we're kind of in an argument. Sort of around the flowers, I think.
We were definitely not completely like enjoying ourselves, per se. Like we were having a little bit of a tension. And I was also trying to tell her that I love her before she, you know, she was gonna leave the country. So I was like, you know, let me just say something.
You got to get that in before somebody leaves the country.
You just never know what's gonna happen, you know. They get on a plane and then you never see them again.
Oh my goodness. So with my death impending for our international adventure, he's trying to tell me, but he's kind of frustrated that I didn't seem to be catching on to the clues, or you were saying that you were like, I'm just kind of upset, I'm kind of frustrated. And all this time our waiter was highly involved in our conversation.
Well, that got me more worked up because the waiter, I mean, I was trying to tell my girlfriend at that time that, you know, that I love her, so I was like, you know, trying to be romantic and all that stuff. But the waiter was like every 5 seconds, do you need something else? Do you want water? Do you want bread? Do you want bread and water? Do you want water and bread? Do you want them combined? Like, he kept coming back to the point that I was frustrated.
Yeah, so it's one of those moments where you kind of don't realize that you're annoyed, but you're highly annoyed. And so then he's like, I think I'm just upset because I love you. So there it was, out on the table. And what did I say? Because I didn't say it back.
I think I'm still waiting for the answer.
No, do you remember what I said?
No, I don't.
I don't know what I said, but I was happy. I was happy to hear that and a little terrified.
And then she took off.
Well, I already shared in the other vlog how long it took me just to call you my boyfriend, so this wasn't that long after that. So I was warming up to all these new ideas.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I said, but I mean, I wasn't rude, I don't think. But then we drove straight from Manhattan Beach to the airport and dropped me off so that I could go spend a month. Actually, that very next morning I would be meeting my future in-laws for the very first time without Billy there, and then spending a month to figure out what I thought about our next steps. So that is the story of how we said that we loved each other. Well, how Billy said that he loved me.
Yeah, how did I say that? But
Until next time.